Welcome to Toyota Warriors post-game live, where the mood, it was a bit glum before the game as OKC came in with the NBA's best record, obviously the top team in a Western Conference, with the Warriors after beating the Utah Jazz last night and getting back on track, get a monster victory over Oklahoma City. Outscoring them in the second half, they win 116-109 despite SGA's, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's 52 points. But we're going to go straight inside the Chase Center to Loon Dog himself, Kevon Looney, tying a career high with 18 points. He goes 8 or 9 for the free throw line, was physical out there tonight, beating one of the best teams in the NBA. Kevon, welcome to the program. Great night for you. And it felt like it was going to be one of those physical games early on, and you brought the physicality. Discuss your night tonight as you tied a career high with 18 points.
I feel like I did a good job of bringing the physicality. I wish I kind of beat it somewhat on the glass, but we did what we had to do to get the win. We was able to get stops and still get out and run. So it was a good team win.
Big Loon, one thing I noticed in the fourth quarter, the bench was playing so well. Shout out to you, shout out to Pods. Everybody came into the game, contributed so well that Steph was able to take a break in the fourth and come back fresh with 4 minutes left in the game. How big is that for that to happen in a game like this?
It's big for us. You know, Steph is the best closer in the league. We know if we keep it close and we go out there and do what we're supposed to do, he's going to be able to close the game out. And that's what we did. You know, we was able to keep the ball moving, play hard, get stops, and he was able to finish it for us.
Loon, you tie your career high with 18 points. You go 8 for 9 from the free throw line, 25 minutes. Talk about your conditioning, Loon. I mean, your conditioning is phenomenal. I see you pregame working on your jump shot. Just looks like your total game's coming back into play, man.
I definitely know that's a part of being a professional. A guy always got to stay ready. When our team is so deep, we go so many different people. You never know how many minutes you're going to play, so you got to stay ready, stay sharp. And tonight was my night, and I feel like I delivered.
Big Loon, 4 blocks tonight. You had to turn the clock back a little bit. A little joker today. What's up, man?
Hey, man, I feel like you out there.
Well, Lil Dog, Malik just brought up the pregame routine. Malik and I always wonder when you're going to start shooting some jumpers, man. You're busting them up in pregame warm-ups, man. Nothing but that 10 in a row. We're going to see some shots here in the future from you.
Yeah, pretty soon. I had to get my free throw percentage up first, and I'm going to get out there.
Hey, Loon, don't tell Steve I say every 5 rebounds you get to shoot a 3.
Hey, I should have good one the next game then.
All right, man.
Hey, Lil, congrats, man. We'll see you Friday night. Hell of a win tonight. And congrats to you on tying the career high with 18 points.
I appreciate it.
Anytime. Loon Dog here on Toyota Warriors post-game live. Phenomenal night. 8 of 9 for the free throw line. And the Warriors bench outscored OKC's bench 48-21. And despite SGA scoring 52 points, the Warriors really dominated and controlled the last 3 quarters of the game, Fezzi.
Bonte, if you want to vote for MVP today, I'm voting for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He came into the game with a mindset that he was going to attack and destroy this whole game. Outscored the Warriors 21-20 by himself in the first quarter, so it was on. But it seems like that strategy of just isolating Shai for the whole game, letting him be the scorer, not letting the other guys really get involved, maybe till the end of the game, not letting the guys get involved. It threw the Thunder off a rhythm, and the Warriors were attacking the whole night. They got out-rebounded, they were outsized, but still being able to run, that pace is so important for the Warriors. And when they had that pace, they outscored in the fast break 18-5. So the Warriors were playing fast the whole night, and they couldn't recover, the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure it was the Oklahoma City Thunder's strategy or the Warriors strategy, but I think Shai Gilgeous' big night actually took his starters out of rhythm. And the reason he got to 50, he got 18 of 21 free throws. Right. So that's when he has those big nights. But a lot of players were not in rhythm. They only had 3 players in double figures. The Warriors, after that first quarter, really gathered themselves. And I thought their overall team defense was good. Look, the Thunder probably missed, they would probably say they missed a lot of shots they normally make. They struggled from the 3-point line. And outside of Shai, no real player really hurt them. And the Warriors had 5 or 6 plays in double figures, so a total team effort. And I thought what Festus said, when Steph went out of the game, they were up one. He came back in, they were up 4, kind of stabilized that game. And so the bench did a great job, total team effort. This is a great win on a back-to-back without Draymond and Kuminga.
They were down 13. Andrew Wiggins hits a buzzer beater right before halftime to go down 10, 58-48. Then the Warriors ended up going on a run 27-10 against Oklahoma City to get back into the game. And from that point on, it was nip him tough.
We saw some phenomenal shot making there, right? One possession game. We saw slow-mo at the end of the shot clock. Steph with that big 3, Andrew Wiggins with a big 3 in the corner there. But maybe the biggest shot of the game was at the end of the third quarter. When Wiggins made that
in the second quarter.
Third quarter.
Third quarter, too. Yeah, third quarter. Yeah.
So coming into tonight's game, the Oklahoma City Thunder with 34-1 when leading after 3. That shot that Wiggins made at the end of the third tied the game. Now, I mean, stats are stats, right? But it played out to be a huge shot. They made many more big shots in the fourth quarter, but just shows you every little possession ended a shot clock. We always talk about finishing quarters, finishing possessions by getting shots. We talk pregame about being active, but also if you don't like what you see, play to the end of the shot clock. There could be some good shots at the end of the clock. Steph made a nice dagger 3. Wiggins, that dagger 3 in the corner was the second left on the shot clock.
So OKC's 34-1 when leading after 3 quarters.
Yes.
The Warriors are like 1 for 800 when trailing after 3 quarters. So yes, that's a huge basket.
That's a big shot.
It's a big shot. It's a big swing right there.
There's a lot of playmakers on the floor. Kevon Looney, GP2, you got Dennis Schroeder. All these guys were making plays for their teammates, and even Dennis Schroeder with 7 assists, he was huge this game. You got to see the thing that he came here for this team for. That speed, his playmaking, and then that mid-range shot was automatic all night long.
This was a gritty win because the Warriors didn't have their A game whatsoever against the best team in the league. You know, another stat that stuck out to me, they were minus 18 on field goal attempts. But their solid defense, they both had 40 made field goals. The Thunder took 99 field goal attempts, the Warriors just 81. So that's usually a number when you see that with the Warriors leads to a loss. But I thought they were really gritty, you know, made some big shots at the end of the shot clock. So this is a huge win for them on a back-to-back.
What the heck is going on, man? I'm talking offense, Mully's talking defense. Can we get back to the normal program now?
No, I was talking field goal attempts.
You said the great defense.
FGA is better.
You weren't Kyle Anderson, you weren't Isaiah Joe that was bumping into each other in the third quarter there, or the fourth quarter.
Concussion protocol?
Yeah, I need to check on you guys. You need to center it on the set. But, you know, I tell you a guy who's balling, 19-5 in the month of January. He's having a spectacular season, a bounce-back season, and that's Andrew Wiggins. Remember?
Wiggs is a mismatch advantage for the Warriors on most nights in the NBA. You saw him attack from all different facets. He was at the three-point line. We saw some catch and shoots from tonight from Wiggs when he was off the ball. We saw him on the ball, creating, getting to the rack. We saw him running in transition. We saw him posting up on smaller defenders who are, for the Oklahoma City Thunder, their defenders are usually stocky and big compared to other guys, but the guys on Wiggs are smaller. He's about 6'8", 6'9". He's taking advantage of that. Right now, he's on automatic, just going to the rim, attacking. And for the Warriors to be successful right now, you need this Wiggs to show up every night. And tonight, he was phenomenal.
Yeah, plus to play 38 minutes on a back-to-back. And I agree with you, Bonte. He's as important outside of Steph as any Warrior on that team. He plays the opposing team's best offensive play every single night. I think his offensive balanced attack is really going well this year. Tonight, knocking down threes, getting into post, playing in transition. So he's having a really good year, back to the way he was in 2022 when they won a championship.
No doubt about that. Only 27 points from here tonight, a team high for the Golden State Warriors. Now, Stephen Curry was struggling at the half. He was 1 of 7. Check out this graphic. Second half against the Lakers, we talked about this ad nauseum. 0 for 8 in the second half, 0 for 4 for the three-point line. But the first half of this game, we're thinking, how are the Warriors going to stay in it? Steph scored 4 in the first half. He was 1 of 7, so that's a combined 1 of 15 and 0 of 6 for the three-point line in his previous 4 quarters. But then the second half happened, Fezzi fell. And in the second half, Stephen Curry got rolling with 8 in the third quarter.
Yeah, one of Steph's greatest gifts outside of his shot making, his ball handling, playmaking, is his awareness, his patience, combined with confidence. As you said, Bonte, he has no problem letting the game come to him. If they're double teaming him, he gets off the ball early, trusts his teammates, and he doesn't need a lot of shots to get hot. You said he had been struggling, but he gets those open looks. The other team is really, really worried about that. He knocked some big-time shots down tonight, but his patience and his confidence is where that comes from.
Knowing when they attacked too early in the offense, if he saw a one-on-one opportunity, he took advantage of it tonight.
Well, also, I thought he did a great job reading. You know, sometimes they would double him, sometimes they were fighting over the top. He was finding that little gap there where there was a little indecision. Not a lot. Most players wouldn't think they were open, but Steph has the ability to. He only needs a small window to knock down those shots.
I got to give a lot of credit to the bench and to the role players. I think a lot of guys are playing well off of his gravity. We talked about the confidence the team had coming into this game. A game like last night against the Utah Jazz. A lot of guys come in, they play up. Brandon Podziemski had 20 points last night. Right. He comes into this game confident, feeling good, and he's attacking. Now the defense can't double Steph like they normally do, right? Over the last couple of weeks, Steph now can get freed up in the second half and really attack because the bench is really attacking themselves and being successful.
And I thought tonight was so impressive because they got dominated in the first quarter. They're down 10 at half. but they looked like the more energetic, quick, athletic team in the second half, which is pretty amazing after playing last night.
Yeah, no doubt they outscore Oklahoma City 68-51 in the second half. The bench outscores OKC's bench 48-21, and this is a feel-good win. And they'll have a day off tomorrow night to get ready for the Phoenix Suns Friday right here at Chase Center. They're now 4-3 during this pivotal 9-game stretch. We're going to hear from the head coach of the Warriors on the other side, Steve Kerr, and break down SGA's night.
Steve, you mentioned before the game that you wanted to keep Shea off the line. That didn't work out so well, but overall,
I wanted under 30, I was hoping, and so we got the job done. Yeah.
But overall, what did you see from your defense after the first quarter or so?
Well, we battled. That was the main thing. And Shea is, he's incredible. I mean, everyone knows that, and he's impossible to guard. So he did his thing, but I thought the second half we were much more disciplined. Didn't give up much easy stuff, and they only made 9 threes, which was a huge part of the game. They missed some open ones, but all in all, I just thought our second half intensity, the way everybody scrapped out there, every single guy who came on the floor just scrapped and gave us great minutes. And I could go up and down the roster, but it was kind of a vet game. Loon, Gary, Kyle, Wiggs, all these guys just came through. Dennis was amazing, second half, especially defensively, and so our guys came up big against best team in the league. So great win.
How much did you need this? Did this group need this type of win?
I think this group, we know they're capable, and what we saw early in the year was not a mirage. You don't just fall into that. But watching the tape of the OKC game that we played on the road early in the season when we were rolling, you could just see a bounce in our step. There was a look in our eye, and I didn't see that tonight early in the game. We've struggled to play with that bounce and that confidence here the last month or so. So it's great to see us fight through that and then kind of reach that state in the second half where you could see the belief, you could see the energy, and felt like we captured that again. And now we got to sustain it, obviously.
Buddy did not give you much in the first half, played just that one stint. Did you think about not starting him in the second half? And then he comes out, hits those 2 shots, 4 assists, I think, in that stint.
Yeah.
What did that kind of opening of the third quarter mean to you?
Well, I didn't think about not starting him. Even when Buddy doesn't make shots, he pulls defenders with him. There's a sense that the game is making sense because it's catch and shoot. If he's open, he's shooting. I know, he hasn't been making them consistently lately, but there's a flow to the game when he's out there. So I thought his 2 hoops early in the third were really important. Then he had the pass to Loon for the dunk, off the pin down. So Buddy gave us a huge lift in that third.
Steve, was that like the quintessential GP2 game? Like he seemed to play defense, rebound, make some good passes, hit shots. Is that like the ideal of him?
Yeah. That's why Gary is so crucial to our team and to our success. I say it all the time, but the 22 finals shifted as soon as Gary got healthy after game 1. We won 4 out of 5 games, and a huge part of that was his defense, his energy, his playmaking, screening. He's such a unique player. There's nobody like him in the league. He's basically a 6'2" power forward with jets in his feet and great feel too, like a really interesting feel. Not so much as a guard, but as a rolling big. And so he creates an advantage for us defensively, but also a different look offensively with his diving and finishing. So Gary's huge for us, and when he plays like that, we're tough to beat.
Steve, obviously Steph is Steph, but the vets that you brought up, Gary, Looney, Wiggins, you've seen those guys do that so many times. Does it almost remind you of that 2022 run where you can just trust those guys any point in the game?
These guys have been here a long time, so I trust them. whether it's 22 or, it's just, I think, a continuity and a familiarity that I have with them and vice versa. And, when we get those kinds of performances collectively from that, number of players, that's what it takes. It's kind of what the league is about these days. It's about depth, and doesn't feel like anymore it's about, having the three superstars. It's more, how many really good players can you put out there, and can they collectively do it? And that's what happened tonight.
18 points from Loon. I mean, how nice is it to see him be a scoring option like he was tonight too?
Loon was fantastic. Probably the key to the game. We debated starting him or Quentin. We wanted to stretch the floor with Gary, diving early in the game, so we started Quentin. That's a lot to ask, to put Quentin in his first start with Shea and, the best team in the league. So I think the game was a little fast for Quentin, but we knew we had Loon in our pocket, and he's always ready to play.
How are you kind of seeing the kind of backup guard tandem morphing with Brandon back and playing well, and Dennis? And then how are you going to, is it difficult to choose between those two down the stretch?
It is. But I chose Dennis because of the defense, the ball pressure, the intensity. He's got a way about him, competitiveness. And, we have the lead, so we were really thinking more defense. But I was thinking about putting BP in. I love those guys together. It's really nice to bring them off the bench together because they can both handle the ball and they feed well off of each other.
Guilherme Giovannoni from ESPN Brazil. You guys gave 30 assists in 40 made a basket. It was the part of the plan of the game, this extra pass to break this tough defense of OKC?
That's really how we play. We have to move the ball. We're not a great ISO team, and with Steph and the way he runs off the ball, we have to move it. And I thought last night and tonight both there was a lot of good. We call it 0.5 decision making, where you get the ball and you just quickly move it. And there was a lot of that tonight. So, 30 assists, a lot of secondary assists, good ball movement, good flow. We couldn't do anything in the first half. Their defense had us stifled, and we started to move it better in the second.
Steve, what were you thinking in the first half when Shea got hot and 52 points tonight? What did you think of his performance?
What did I think of his performance? Dave Kingman? You guys ever heard the Dave Kingman, Tommy Lasorda rant? Google it. Don't worry, I'm not going to treat you like Lasorda treated whoever asked him the question. I don't know what to do with Shea. I asked Mark at one point to just leave him on the bench for a couple more minutes, and he didn't comply. So I think Shea came back in with like 10 minutes left in the fourth. And I looked down to Mark. I said, can't give him 2 more minutes? That would be really helpful for us. And he just laughed. But, it's pick your poison with him, and the good thing for us down the stretch is we had the lead, so we didn't mind giving up the twos, but we just didn't want to blitz or send a double team at him and risk giving up open threes. But easier to do that when you have the lead, and that's what that third quarter allowed us to get back in the game, and we didn't have to start scrambling on Shea.
You went offense, defense with like 3:40 left.
Yeah.
Is about the earliest you've gone offense, defense, put a full defensive lineup out there, and I guess is that a sign of how important? Were you coaching this almost like a playoff game?
Well, we had a timeout to burn, and so Seth Cooper, one of our assistants, he came to me in the timeout. He goes, "Hey, this is a perfect opportunity to just go all defense, and then if we get a stop, we just take the timeout. We're gonna lose the timeout under 3 minutes anyway." So it was really more strategic, just because we had the timeout in our pocket. Just see if we can get a stop, use the timeout, get our offensive guys back in. Can't always do that, obviously, if you don't have that timeout. But in that case, Seth was all over it and reminded me, and that was a good call. Thank you.
All right, on the second night of a back-to-back, when you guys were down 10 at halftime, you came through to beat the #1 team in the West. How do you just capture the emotion of this win?
Yeah, I think we're super excited. We got coached with water in the locker room after the game, but it took all 11 of us that played, and we each contributed a little bit different ways. Kyle missing his first, I think, 3 or 4 shots and hitting a big fadeaway. I had a step back, and then Gary's dunk. I think we were able to, play good in the non-Steph minutes, and that's kind of been our biggest question from, the outside. And I think we did that pretty well. Obviously, Shea had, 50. But if he's going to have 50 and we can hold everybody else kind of down, I think it gives us a good chance to win.
And when you guys are checking the standings, when you see how crowded it is in the West, what does a win like this do for your belief that you guys can move up?
Yeah, I think it does wonders. You look at between the 4th and us at the 11th spot, there's a 3-4 game difference. And so if we can start to string them together, one by one and not win every other, I think it'll do wonders for us, and we got a good opportunity on Friday to keep it going.
Can you tell me about Kevon Looney's game? It's season high, career high, tying his career high with 18 points, making his free throws and having 4 blocks.
Yeah, he works on it. I know it gets frustrating for him when he doesn't make them because he puts so much time and effort into them. But to see him go out there and score the way he did and compete with Hartenstein and battle with the bigs, some key blocks down the stretch as well. And so, just really cool for him to be in year 10 or 11, whatever it is, and having to still work to get his spot in the rotation. And then when he's provided opportunity, he does what we all know he does.
And how are you feeling? What kind of peace are you feeling right now with your shot?
I mean, I think it's an evolution. It's a revolving door. I think you just got to keep working on it and put the time in. And I know I do. And so, like I mentioned last night, 15% isn't me. And so I know I can always get better. I think I could have made either 2 or all my threes I shot tonight, but sometimes it goes the opposite way. And I think the most important thing is I was able to impact the winning, and we beat the #1 team in the West. That's all that matters.
Congrats to all of you on a massive win.
Thank you.
You guys have now taken 2 of 3 versus the Thunder. What about this matchup has worked out for you?
Just when we come out with the right intentions, the right energy, the right mindset, we can compete with anybody. And we play these guys a lot in the last couple of years, so we know what they like to do and how they get their offense and get going. Today we pushed shy on the free throw line too much, but I think we like our matchup with this, and we do it the right way and play the right way. We can get after these guys.
You feel like this game was validation that the 12-3 start was real, and that team is still in there?
No, not this game. We always knew that. We just got to come out and play right.
GP, it's been a while since we've seen you dunk on somebody like that.
Few years.
Had you been hunting for one? Were you surprised that opportunity came?
No, I haven't been hunting it, but it's been I know I haven't been up there in a while. So our coaches be killing us with follow the help. So Dennis attacked and made a great pass, and I just followed the help. And you follow the help, you get opportunities like that just to get going, get your team going. So I had one of those, and we was already moving and rolling. So that was just a good exclamation point. And just to cap off how we played tonight.
When Brandon's playing like he has been the last 4 games, I mean, what does that do for you guys?
Yeah, Brandon beat Brandon. He playmates, does what he does, hit big shots in big moments. Like I said, he's been finding his rhythm, and it looks like he's back to being BP and settle in and does what he does. So, it's good to have him back on the court.
How important was Andrew's start to this game on defense, but also offensively? He had 15 points at half. The rest of the starters had 8 combined. How did he help carry things early on in this game? Yeah,
he's been doing that the last few weeks, being ultra aggressive. When he's like that, and we can get Steph going too. It's 2 guys you got to worry about, and leaves a lot of playmaking for everybody else. But we need Wiggs to be in aggressive mode like he has been, and he's been tremendous for us. 40 minutes, yeah. Keep him out there. You guys are great. Whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were really attacking the rim, sometimes they were closing on you. It was a tough shot, but you still attacked it. You got free throws. Was that an emphasis from coaches, from yourself, that if you've got the lane, you've just got to take it?
No, I've just been thinking a little bit of a South Bay GP, RGV GP, so just get back in my old ways, I guess. You know, they've been playing off me, so that's all I've been thinking is South Bay and RGV GP. If you don't know, go take a look. Thanks, guys. You guys are great.
Andrew, obviously it's just one game, but what is this, knowing how good that team is, knowing what it takes to beat them, what does this game do for, like, team morale?
It's a big win for us. You know, they're the best team in the West, you know, so just knowing what we're capable of. When we play together, we play the right way and lock in. Hopefully this is a momentum swing for us and, you know, just keep piling on.
How tough was SGA tonight?
He's tough. He's cold. He's tough. You know, he can score all three levels. You know, he gets to the foul line, and you know he doesn't stop. You know, the whole game he's at you. You know, it's tough. You know, just stopping him is not stopping him. Just trying to contain him is a team effort. And you know, we just got to do it collectively. You know, we do the best we can. You know, but he's a great player. You got going.
How much of the scouting report on him is just dedicated to, you know, don't bite on the pump fakes, don't send him to the line?
I mean, that's the main thing. You know, that's the main thing, but, you know, it's tough. You know, way easier said than done.
What was your reaction to Gary's dunk?
Oh, man, I haven't seen that in a while. I'm happy he did it. You know, it just shows what G is capable of. He's a very important piece to this team. On both sides of the floor, I feel like G just complements the team so well. So it's amazing to have him.
You see someone where you guys can just really feed off of his energy. Like it feels like the crowd, everything, it just found a new level when he did that.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, G's someone that we all love and appreciate, and when he gets going, it gets everyone going.
Definitely seen over the last few games there are possessions where you're clearly, I got to get to the hoop. I got to bounce off someone. How do you know when those moments are coming, or the coach is telling you, or when does that all kind of get put together for you?
It's kind of just a feel. It's a kind of feel matchup thing, knowing my spots and knowing what I can do. I love getting to the rim. I love posting up. Those are all shots I'm comfortable with, and I love doing. So.
When you win a game like this against a team like that, do you start thinking, hey, we could beat any team, any night? You won a couple in a row, and at the same time, do you say this could be a playoff team? We could zoom higher in the standings. Look what we did tonight.
We could, definitely. We started the season off, great. Now we have our moments when. It's not going our way, but, we know what we're capable of. This is our second time beating them. So we know what we can do when we play the right way and play hard on, both sides of the floor. We just got to stay consistent with it, which I think we can. And when we do that, we can beat anybody. Thank you.
It's obviously just one game, Steph, but given who they are and kind of where you guys have been the last few weeks or months, how important was it to win this game?
I mean, it was important. Obviously, for two reasons. The competition you're playing, a team that's at the top of the conference, and just for us to be able to put two games together in a row. We need positive vibes around here, and we need wins, and it was a lot of contributions across the floor. It's funny because, we're still in that kind of position where every night you don't know who the combination that's going to work, but as long as everybody's committed to it, playing with high energy, doing, starring in your role, you hope that you get rewarded for that, and it was definitely a night like that tonight.
Hey, Steph, come on, man. It's been a while since you've seen GP2 dunk on somebody. What does a moment like that do? I know you wish you could soar like another 6'3" guard on your team, but watching him do that, how unique is that experience?
Yeah, it was, I mean, over the course of the last 4 years, there have been moments like that. He was definitely excited because he said he hadn't had one in a while. And it doesn't matter at what point of the game it happens, it's always a big boost, energy-wise, like demeanor for the whole team, has something to celebrate, and for him to show his athleticism. So, but to finish the game like that was special. It's like you just want to, you know, be able to like have a stamp on a game like that, and the crowd was going crazy. The whole bench was up like that. That's what a team, you know, needs when you've had a run like we had. Not to overemphasize one play, but it's huge. It was a microcosm of our whole night.
How are you seeing kind of the backcourt behind you evolve right now with Dennis maybe getting a little bit more comfortable, Brandon coming back from injury, playing well, them sometimes together, sometimes next to you?
Like I said, we haven't had a good run with everybody in that rotation. Like, we played 11 guys tonight, and you still don't have Draymond, J.K., you know, Trace has been playing well at the 5, and we make, you know, a rotational change. He hadn't played, so it's every man has to be ready. It's just, again, the nature of the team we have right now. And the backcourt, like, as long as we're playing with energy, I think we'll develop chemistry out of that. That's probably me and Dennis's best game together, you know, working off of each other, being organized on the offensive end, and, you know, getting to the sets that could help us close a game like that. So we're still feeling it out. I mean, it's, you know, we have, I think, another level to get to.
As a point guard, how difficult do you think it has been for him to transition into what you guys do, and why is it, I guess, you know, difficult to make that midseason transition?
I think mostly just it's a different system, and he's been around the block, but I think he was playing at such a high level, and they had such a unique team in Brooklyn. A lot of space, a lot of athleticism at the wing. They're playing small at times, and he had a lot of room to drive, play make. He was shooting the ball at a high level, and then you put him in, you know, with our system where it's a lot of more ball movement, and it takes a while to get used to that. And, you know, the bigs that we're playing, trying to develop that chemistry, screen and roll game, and all that type of stuff, but. Everybody focuses on the offensive side, which we want to continue to play better, but you got to focus on the positives too. His defense has been great for us on that end of the floor, picking up, full, guarding, you know, some of the main scorers on the other side. He's relentless on that end of the floor. So if we can put 2 and 2 together, like I said, I think there's another level to get to, but we have to keep working at it.
Did you guys give Kerr like a splash celebration in the locker room, and why did that happen?
Like I said, we need some feel-good energy around here. So you can't forget to celebrate the small wins no matter what the standard has been around here. You got to infuse some joy for sure.
He mentioned that maybe, you know, you wanted you guys to feel the 12-3, that was real. It wasn't something that just disappeared. Did you need to feel that? Did you feel some of this kind of, you know, maybe it won't be 12-3 again, but just that sense about the team kind of being regained?
Yeah, but you don't get too ahead of yourself and understand you have to, you know, validate that on Friday. So, like I said, you want to celebrate tonight. It was an amazing feeling knowing it felt like the Sacramento game and tonight kind of felt the same. It was like a playoff type of environment, a team that had been playing well. This team at the top of the standings, and just the intensity. And Shea played amazing tonight. And it's kind of back and forth. We had that big third quarter, and you could feel the intensity starting to increase down the stretch and the adrenaline going. And it was nice to finish. Like, we haven't finished well all year. So we expected to win every game when we were in that 12-3 situation, and now, like, the vibe is a little different. You're just trying to search for consistency, but we still have belief that we can win any given night, and we played like it tonight.
Steph, during the championship years, you guys owned the third quarter. It's been kind of hit and miss this year, but how key was it tonight, especially the way SGA got going in the first half? How important and key was it for you guys to come out in that third quarter and set the tone for the second half?
That's why we won the game. There's a decision: are you going to lay down and just wave the white flag? Wiggs' three at the end of the at halftime was huge. You call it big momentum going into the half, even though we were down, I think, 10. And we came out and gave ourselves life in that first 6 minutes, just to grab a lead and look up and like, oh, we got some momentum. That's huge for the morale of the team, and just the fact that we could answer every run that they had. So it gave us a chance. And then down the stretch, like I said, we controlled the last 4 to 5 minutes of the game, which has not been our strong suit, and it was a good feeling.
Talking about the end, how fun is it just to dribble around? I don't know how long you were dribbling, how many dribbles you actually had, but that might have been your longest in a while. Is that how enjoyable is just be able to pull that off?
I was just trying to prove to coach I can run around and play a couple more minutes with the ball in my hands. It was fun for sure, just playing keep away like you were back in AAU basketball.